Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for June 10th, 2019. This is the show where I give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. And if you want to learn more about these stories, in the show notes down below I'll put a link to each story so you can read about them for yourself, come up with your own opinions. Today we're coming here from the great outdoors in slightly northern Michigan on a beautiful lake. Apologize if the audio and video is not perfect. Again, traveling this week on vacation, but that's not going to stop us from covering the biggest news happening in the world of cord cutting right now. You just may have to hang in here with me as we'll be back in the studio sometime next week. So hang in there with me as I try to enjoy some family time. But let's dive into it because there's a lot of stuff happening. But first, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Bear with me as audio and video may not be perfect, but hopefully the news will help you break free from the high-cost cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, right off the bat, before we get into it, don't forget there is a lot of deals right now. Roku has a 55-inch 4K TCL TV with HDR on sale at Best Buy for $299.99. Amazon has sales on the Fire TV sticks and the Fire TV Recast DVR starting at $29.99. So some pretty good deals on TVs and streaming players and DVRs if you're looking for a deal for Father's Day. So check that out in the show notes down below. I'll put a link to that and you can check it out down there. One other deal you may want to check out is if you're a T-Mobile subscriber is $25 concert tickets for T-Mobile Tuesdays all summer long to groups like Blink-182, Lil Wayne, Slipknot, Third Eye Blind, and many more this summer. So if you're a subscriber, keep an eye on that T-Mobile Tuesdays app or on the T-Mobile Tuesday website to see which deals will be coming out on Tuesdays for you. So let's dive into the news. And again, links to those deals down in the show notes. CBS and Viacom were once one company. Over the last year, there's been a lot of talks of on and off merger rumors, reportedly held up by CBS not wanting to do it, especially with their chief executive and some board members. While all those people are gone, now it's being reported that CBS will reportedly have a board meeting on Friday to discuss the merger. According to reports, Viacom CEO is rumored to be the one that will take over the new merged companies. Had for a long time been rumored to be CBS, and CBS wanting that, while with the new board members, new CEO over at CBS, that no longer seems to be an issue. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens here. That hurdle makes this merger far more likely. With Viacom CEO being reportedly the favorite of the Redstone family, which owns a majority of both CBS and Viacom, it sounds like this deal is going to be pretty much a done deal, but things could still fall apart. I'm very interested to see what happens here with CBS and the Viacom merger. Viacom has been moving heavily into streaming, something they didn't do a few years ago. CBS has also been heavy in merging, picking up stars. They have been got Showtime streaming, CBS All Access streaming. You know, Viacom just picked up Pluto TV. It will be very interesting to see what happens with this merger. So are you concerned at all with a CBS-Viacom merger, one company? When they merged, there wasn't when they broke up, I should say, there wasn't nearly the number of competitors there is today. With Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon increasingly being strong competitors, including a growing number of other companies out there, it'll be very interesting to see the long-term ramifications of this. I want to know what you think. Are you upset at all about this possible merger, or are you excited about it? Let me know. One of the series I want to point out over at CordCarsNews.com is, first of all, there's a lot of posts over at CordCarsNews.com that we do not cover here on our weekly videos and daily videos. There's just so much news in the world of cord cutting, we could never cover it all. But we are running a series of breakdown update of each major live TV streaming service, streaming players. Over the weekend, we broke down a guide of Roku, and today is Philo's day. So if you've been wondering about, hey, what do I need to know about Philo? What do I need to know about Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and more? Make sure to go over to CordCarsNews.com, use the search box, and just type in Roku, or what is Roku, what is Fire TV, and more, to find full breakdowns of each kind of post there. So if you have any questions about a particular streaming service you would like us to review, or a particular streaming device you would like us to review, leave us a comment down below, and we'll maybe add it to the list of breakdowns that we're doing that hopefully will help people who are not familiar with these kind of services. And I know that people say, hey Luke, I know what Roku is, I know what Philo is. Why do I need a post that explains it? Well, you may know what it is, but you'd be amazed. There are millions of people out there who just don't. So that's the purpose of these posts. If you have one you think we should cover to help people like that, leave us a comment. I'd love to hear from you. All right, next story of the day, and this one I found fun. It came from some readers that have been asking about this question increasingly, is how can I cut the cord with no home internet? Do I need home internet to be a cord cutter? And the truth is, no, you do not need a home internet to be a cord cutter. There are many great services, and just did a full breakdown of it, but there's great options. I want to know what you would suggest for people who don't have home internet. Of course, there's Redbox, public libraries for DVDs. There's an antenna, which is a great option all cord cutters should have, because there's so much content there. I know there's some people who live in areas where that's not a practicality, where you may live outside the coverage, but for the vast majority of Americans, an antenna will give you everything you want and a whole lot more. Also, don't forget about the public library. There are so many DVDs, and some places still have VHSs, but out there really cheap. I personally do love still buying VHSs of especially Disney movies for my daughter. We go to flea markets, we pick them up for like $1, maybe $2 if it's a very popular Disney movie. So much cheaper than trying to buy them on Amazon or iTunes out there. So there's that, and there's also your mobile device. A lot of people use their tablets when they do have Wi-Fi to download content and then watch it at home where they don't. So there really is ways, as I'm hearing a growing number of people are moving to their cell phones being their only source of internet for the mobile data, and they're foregoing the home internet. As tablets and cell phones become more popular and include cellular data, there's really not a desperate need for home internet for many people who just want to surf the web, check Facebook, and answer emails. So yes, you can cut the cord. It may not give you quite the same catalog of content you would have with an internet connection and access to free services like Pluto and Tubi and Crackle and all these other ones. But you will get a huge catalog of content for free with this. So I'd love to know if you have a suggestion for 100% internet-free ways to cut the cord. Leave us a comment. I'd love to hear from you. All right, the biggest stories of the day come from AT&T, and it comes from two reported. Now, first of all, the number one story here is pretty much confirmed that AT&T is considering this. AT&T is reportedly planning to merge DIRECTV Now into the new WarnerMedia servers. Now, a few things about this. So WarnerMedia is launching a Netflix-like streaming service. It's been reported to be somewhere between $16 and $17 a month. Let's just say $16.99, so $17. That will give you access to HBO and Cinemax content and a huge on-demand library of content from WarnerMedia. So the WB and all these WarnerMedia-owned back catalog content out there, which is not a bad deal if you're an HBO subscriber. You know, for an extra $2, you're going to get this massive catalog of WarnerMedia content and original programming. Now, AT&T CEO of Communications has come out and said they intend to eventually, and we'll get to that word eventually in a moment, add in the ability to have DirecTV Now inside that service, and it will allow you to have a unified single search and a unified single user interface to access both your on-demand HBO and Cinemax and WarnerMedia content and your live channels from like ESPN and more. Now, I do not think that will be at $16 or $17 a month. There are some people like, wow, I'm going to get all this for $16 or $17 a month. I don't think so. I think this is more like Hulu, where you have the on-demand catalog of Hulu for $5.99. And then if you want live TV for $45, you get the on-demand catalog plus live TV all in a single user interface with a unified search. I expect that because he did say eventually. So I would assume this does not mean at launch this service will include DirecTV Now built in. Sometime in the future, it will come. Now, I do think this makes sense. AT&T has basically stopped promoting DirecTV Now. I do know they do still do some promotions. They do still do some advertising, but it's a fraction. The number of TV ads you see for DirecTV Now is down. Some things like the DVR add-on, which they had talked very highly about a year ago as a way they intended to get more revenue from DirecTV Now by offering an add-on for extended DVR storage, never came to fruition. They never talk about it anymore, and it really seems that AT&T has kind of walked away from DirecTV Now for the most part. They're really just not talking about it in their big calls and their big events of here's what we're going to do in the future. DirecTV Now is just not pushed like it used to be. So them moving this into WarnerMedia's new Netflix-like streaming service to be more like a Hulu-like on-demand, and you can add live TV, makes a lot of sense from looking at it as a company. Now, does that worry you? It likely would mean a price hike. Right now they're at $50. Let's say they give you a bundle discount for all this on-demand content. What will that mean of a price range? $53, $55 a month for live TV bundled into this on-demand service? What does this mean for grandfathered customers? Will all of us go big customers who are still grandfathered into the old package with channels that are no longer offered on DirecTV Now still get that? For now, I don't know. It definitely seems to be a lot of questions here. But the word eventually should give us a warning that this may not even happen this year. When this service launches later this year, I would not expect DirecTV Now to be merged into it. So keep that in mind. Let me know what you think. Are you excited about this? Are you worried about this? There's a lot of reasons to be both excited and worried about this idea. Though honestly, the Netflix model has been proven successful, so it seems likely, it seems to be AT&T wants to follow that. And the Hulu model has been successful. The ability to have on-demand and live TV as an option there has been successful. So I wouldn't be surprised to see AT&T try to replicate both of those. All right, so next story of the day. Now, this is an AT&T story that is a reported rumor. So keep that in mind. But it makes a lot of sense. If you've watched my Q&As, if you watched the site for a while, I have talked about this before. But AT&T is reportedly interested in selling the DirecTV satellite service to Dish. And Dish is reportedly interested in buying it. Now, no talks have reportedly happened. This is an early report, and it makes perfect sense to me, to be honest with you. AT&T has said that they do not intend to launch any more satellites. So the satellites in space right now for DirecTV's internet will be it. Someday in the distant future, not going to happen anytime soon, those satellites are going to run out of propellant, something's going to break. They're just not meant to last forever. And let's be honest, satellite TV is losing the most number of subscribers right now. So it fully makes sense that at some point the two of the DirecTV and Dish will want to merge, much like Sirius XM or has merged into one company from the Sirius and the XM satellite services. I think this makes a lot of sense. Even as cord-cutting grows and satellite gets hit the hardest, there are still many people in rural America that need a service like satellite internet. Low Earth orbit satellites, 5G, are going to make the number of Americans who can't get broadband internet smaller and smaller, but there's still many of them. And there's still people who want that traditional cable experience. You know what? More power to you. If you're willing to pay more, go for it. It's always like I say, it's like airplanes. A lot of people are happy with coach. Some people have to have that first class. And I always view that as satellite and cable, where cord cutting is the coach. We all get to the same destination. We're all watching the same football game. We're all watching the same show on TV, but we're paying different prices to do it. Much like on an airline, we're all going the same place, but we're paying different prices. So I would not be surprised at all to see this merger. I just didn't expect it to be talked about officially now. Now, it's not official. It comes from sources who talk to reporters who have reported it on places like Bloomberg and Reuters. So I would expect that, yes, this will happen at some time in the future. Probably not anytime soon, though. So don't expect this to happen tomorrow. But as the market gets smaller and smaller, as streaming becomes a bigger competitor, as cable continues to reach more and more markets, it makes sense that at some point, satellite TV will be best served as a single company. It's not ideal. We always hate to lose a competitor, but their offerings are very similar. It's not like we're seeing a massive price war in the world of satellite, but we do see them pushing against each other for developments in technology, exclusive content, and other areas that has been great for TV viewers and customers. So hopefully we don't lose that. But I fully believe that with the growth of streaming TV, of 5G internet, and more, that any lost competition from DirecTV and Dish merging will be offset by all the new competitors, so keep that in mind. So that's my thoughts. What would you think of a DirecTV and a Dish merger? Does it worry you? When do you think it will happen? How quickly do you think AT&T will get there? They've been very clear, satellite's not the future of their TV service. So it makes sense to move as many people over from DirecTV satellite to streaming, and then anyone they can't move to try to sell them off so that AT&T doesn't have to mess with the satellites in space. A surprisingly expensive part of TV is launching the satellites, building them, developing them, and replacing them, because they often have to be replaced. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for bearing with me with the subpar audio and video. The rest of the week should be a lot better. I'll have a better spot to shoot this in, but I hope you enjoyed the view. I hope you all take care and have a great week. I'll see you tomorrow.